4, 3, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes
A pleasant good evening and welcome to Memorial Stadium in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, the home of the Canon-Mac Big Macs, and tonight it's home to the Quad A Southeastern Conference matchup between the Woodland Hills Wolverines and the Canon-Mac Big Macs. Woodland Hills 5-0 on the season. Meanwhile, Canon-Mac is 1-4 on the year. They have yet to win a Southeastern Conference game. Their lone victory this year comes against a non-conference opponent, Fox Chapel, a week ago. And Fred, during the radio pregame show, we had an opportunity to talk about what can Canon-Mac exploit, and tell our TV audience what your thoughts are there.
Yeah, I feel right now that the weakness of the Woodland Hills defense, if they have any, is definitely in the passing game, the secondary. Opponents week after week have really been able to exploit at times the secondary of Woodland Hills, and I think Canon-Mac has the ability to do that with their quarterback. Dominates. Not dominate, but dominates. Sorry, I'm trying to pronounce his name correctly. Has done a great job this season, completing 48 of 96 pass attempts for 5 touchdowns and 742 yards of passing.
Fred, for the second week in a row and basically third week in a row, Woodland Hills in all likelihood will be without Miles Sanders. We saw them able to overcome that challenge last week with Joel Shaw and Payton Hicks the week before. Joel Shaw carried the majority of the load once Miles Sanders exited the lineup. Is that a concern of yours?
This week, no. They're going to do a great job, I think, Woodland Hills on the running game. And where it starts is definitely up front. They have at least 6 or 7 guys that can fill in at any position along the offensive line and make an impact and clear these holes for Shaw, Hicks, and Sanders if he decides to play in the next couple weeks.
Making their way out.
Let's set the scene for you. Woodland Hills across the field, they wear their all-white road uniforms, white jerseys, white pants, turquoise numerals with the black trim, and the turquoise helmets with the black ears and stripes. Along the near sideline, the Canon-Mac Big Macs wear a familiar uniform. They wear navy, or rather royal blue jerseys with gold numerals, white pants with the gold trim, and they have the blue helmets with the gold ears and stripes, much like the Michigan Wolverines. Canon-Mac has won the toss. They have elected to receive, and Woodland Hills will be kicking off right to left across your radio dial, television screen, or internet browser for today's Southeastern Conference matchup. Before we even get started today, I've got to thank our television crew. We neglected to bring a significant piece of equipment for our broadcast, and somehow we've been able to patch things together and make this broadcast possible for our listeners and viewers all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. Of course, we thank everyone for their patience and their expertise in making this broadcast possible. Again, it's Woodland Hills and Canon-Mac right here on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills is 5-0 on the year, the number 1 ranked team in the state, coached by Woodland Hills head coach George Novak in his 29th season. To his left, Kevin Murray, class of 1995, a teammate of mine, and more importantly, a teammate of Fred's, because you guys played together for 3 seasons, while Kevin and I just played together for 1.
Yeah, definitely, certainly had some great battles with Kevin, especially our senior year, where I was a starting inside linebacker, he was a starting center. We went one-on-ones a lot of times during practice, and he definitely made me a better player for sure.
And me as well. He made me a better defensive lineman, even though that wasn't my specialty, because there were so many times on the scout team D where I had to go against the likes of Kevin Murray and Rob Mowell and John Rumsick and Bill Rowland and Joel Riley, and that certainly made me a better football player down the road as well. Kicking off for Woodland Hills will be Thomas Sullivan-Folia, and Canon-Mac has 1 man back deep to return. The ball will carry to the far sideline, though, where it will be returned by the Big Mac. Sliding down there around the 22-yard line is that return man. And on the return is number 23, Ahmad Morris Walker. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Big Macs with the football at the 23-yard line.
And we really need to make sure we don't discredit the running game of Canon-McMillan. They boast a nice running back in Bryan Milligan, who's rushed for 102 times for 596 yards, averaging 5.9 yards per carry.
So the Big Macs go from the sideline to the line of scrimmage, shotgun formation. Banana bunch to the left of the formation. Quarterback looking right away from that bunch formation. It'll be down the near sideline and in and out of the hands of Jordan Smith. Smith had one step away from the defensive back, Derrick Caraway, but he couldn't hang on to the pass, and the incompletion brings up 2nd down and 10.
And certainly that's where Canon-McMillan really needs to come out firing on all cylinders in the passing game. Enix threw a nice ball, and it looked like it just went right through the hands of Smith on that last play.
So it's 2nd down and 10 for Canon Mac. One receiver to the short boundary left, 2 to the near side right. Sidecar to the left of the quarterback, and it will be handed off to that tailback, that sidecar back there, and he's brought down in the backfield. Miguel Cobbs making the tackle on Bryan Milligan.
And again, I think you're going to have a lot of Miguel Cobbs calling tonight for Adam. I mean, he's just done a great job all season long of just being very disruptive. And it looks like Canon Mac is going with a no huddle on this 3rd down play.
Shotgun again. Sidecar to the right of the quarterback, Enoch. 2 receivers right. Enoch, he'll look to the left to the far boundary, and the pass is in and out of the hands of the receiver along that far sideline. And that incomplete pass by Enes is incomplete to Ahmad Morris-Walker, and that brings in the punt unit.
Yeah, and certainly that's what Woodland Hills needed on defense, is a quick 3 and out. And it looks like Enix is actually a pretty accurate passer, but for some reasons his wide receivers are unable to help him out on that last drive.
So Jordan Smith back to punt for Canon Mac. Derrick Caraway, the return man, stands at the 50. Punt through the hands of a Woodland Hills blocker. Caraway retreats back to the 46. Now he'll step back a bit further, surge his way forward up to the 48-yard line, and that's where it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Woodland Hills. Pretty decent field position for the visitors.
Yeah, great job of number 28 for Canon-McMillan. Handyside, Brennan Handyside did a great job of making sure that Caraway wasn't able to get a full head of steam on that last punt. But like you said, Adam, excellent field position for Woodland Hills on their 1st drive.
So Woodland Hills heads into the huddle from the sideline to begin the football game. Usual starting lineup out there with Stephen Rickard at left tackle. And the center is occupied by Lamont Spratley. Sidecars to either side of Caraway. He'll hand off Shaw. Stutter steps, surges his way forward inside of the 50, and he'll be brought down at the 46-yard line. A couple of blue jerseys on the bottom of the pile, including Nicholas Connick.
It looked like number 16 was actually at the really at the bottom of the pile. He was holding on to his to Joel Shaw's leg. That's Knight, number 16 for Canon Mac. Did a great job of making sure he didn't get a full head of steam going through the line of scrimmage.
So a 6-yard pickup for Joel, and it is now 2nd down and 4 for the Wolverines at the Canon Mac 46. Again, sidecars to either side of Cooper. He'll hand off. Hicks running right, turns the corner inside of the 40. He'll be brought down inside of the 35-yard line. It's a Woodland Hills 1st down to the 33. And with 10:15 to go, the Wolverines in business now deeper inside of Big Mac's territory.
Yeah, Payton Hicks did a great job of really just getting on the hip of Joel Shaw and following his block to the first, picking up enough yardage for the 1st down.
So after the ball is placed, it'll be a 13-yard pickup for Payton Hicks. And again, 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills. Sidecar to the right of Cooper is Shaw. Twins to either side as Cooper hands off to Shaw. He'll stutter step left 2 times, slides through a tackler, slides through another tackle inside of the 25, and he's brought down close to the 1st down marker. It depends on the spot, but it should be enough for a Woody High 1st down.
Yeah, what Canon Mac really needs to understand is they really need to get more than just one guy that's going to try to tackle Joel Shaw. They really need to gang tackle him. But he's doing a great – Joel Shaw just did a great job of sidestepping a couple defenders and then basically just sniffing out the 1st down marker to pick up the 1st down.
So it's a 10-yard pickup. The tackle on the play made by Jordan Smith. And it's 1st and 10 for the Wolverines with the football at that 23-yard line. Trips to the right of the formation. One receiver to the near boundary left. Sidecar to the left of Cooper is Shaw. Cooper drops back, looks right the whole way. He'll throw it into the flats on that far sideline. It's completed, and it's Hoots sidestepping 2 tacklers around the 5-yard line, and he will cross the goal line for a Woodland Hills touchdown.
A great job of Coop of really seeing that Hoots was wide open in the flats and there was nobody near him. And then once Hoots got possession of the ball, did a great job of shedding some tacklers and sniffing out the end zone.
Second touchdown of the season for Mack Hoots. He had a TD at Shaler a couple of weeks back on the road. And Woodland Hills can make this lead 7-0 as Thomas Sullivan Folia steps onto the field for the point after touchdown. The holder is Wilson, the long snapper is Rickard, and the PAT is up and in for Thomas Sullivan Folia. And with 9:18 to play in quarter number 1, it's Woodland Hills 7 and Canon-Mac 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. And we welcome you back to Memorial Stadium in Canonsburg, PA. Woodland Hills on top of Canon-Mac 7-0. The points put on the board by a 23-yard touchdown pass by Daron Cooper to Mack Hoots. And as Fred talked about before the break, just a great job of Cooper finding Hoots along the flats on that right-hand side. And from our TV replay, he may have stepped out of bounds, but that's irrelevant at this point. Hoots still with his second touchdown of the season as he eluded Big Macs to the goal line.
Yeah, which has definitely been a kind of a surprise. I mean, he really came out of nowhere, had some like sporadic time in terms of special teams last year, but he's really made an impact this year as a wide receiver.
Sullivan Folia with a beautiful kick that carries down to the 2-yard line, slides through the hands of a return man back there. And it will be a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Big Macs at their own 20-yard line. And folks on the TV side, let's take another look here. See if Hoots with that right foot stepped out of bounds. From this vantage point, it looks like he might have. That would have given Woodland Hills the ball 1st and goal at the 6. In all likelihood, they score, but you can't guarantee anything. So if you're Canon-Mac, you're a little upset, but you've got to redeem yourself here with the ball in your hands. Handoff will go to the right-hand side. Milligan is the ball carrier. He'll pick up about 3 yards. At the bottom of the pile for the Wolverines is Damon Johnson. Also in on the stop is Rasan McKnight. And the pickup of 3 brings up 2nd down and 7.
Gain of 3 yards, 2nd down, 7.
Yeah, Woodland Hills has done a great job so far in this ball game against the run, really not letting Canon-Mac get going at all so far in the running game.
Handoff, Milligan, he'll run left, trying to drive his way forward with blockers in front of him, and he'll be brought down after a gain of about 5 up to the 28-yard line. So Milligan starting to get things rolling here before Miguel Cobbs makes the tackle.
And that's the type of confidence that your offensive line needs against this front 7 for Woodland Hills. Get a good play, pick up some good yardage on 2nd down, leaving yourself 3rd and manageable.
So Milligan ended the last drive with -3 yards rushing. He now has 5 yards in total on 3 carries. Now the quarterback back deep. He will throw a pass into the flats, intercepted by Woodland Hills' Dana Wilson-Adams with his 2nd interception in as many weeks.
Yeah, it looks like there was some miscommunication between the quarterback and his wide receiver because, I mean, that ball was thrown right to Wilson-Adams, who made an easy pick.
Made by number 67.
So this will set Woodland Hills up 1st down and 10 at the 35-yard line. So Canon-Mac looking to answer after Woodland Hills scores, and they're not able to do so, at least at first blush, as the Wolverines have an opportunity with the football here at their own 35-yard line. Wolverines out of the huddle. Pistol formation with Shaw behind Cooper. 1 receiver right, 2 to the near side left. Cooper's going to hand off. It's Shaw running right. Turns the corner inside of the 30, the 25, the 20, 15, 10. Sidesteps a man at the 7-yard line, and into the end zone goes Joel Shaw with a 35-yard TD.
You know, Adam, when we think of Joel Shaw, we think of his power, his speed, but what he showed on that last run was his vision was absolutely fantastic. He had the opportunity to take it outside, didn't, because he saw that there was somebody engaged in a blocker with one of the defenders. He cut it back into the middle of the field, and then once he saw the safeties, made another nice cut back to the left side of the field, and then found himself into the end zone.
And when you take the ball away, you love to strike early, and that's what the Wolverines did on that 35-yard touchdown by Joel Shaw. And with 7:46 to play in quarter number one, Thomas Sullivan Folia's PAT makes it Woodland Hills 14 and Canon-Mac 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. And we welcome you back to Memorial Stadium in Canonsburg, PA, where Woodland Hills has opened up a 14-0 lead over Canon-Mac, and we have played less than 5 full minutes of football. In fact, we've played just 4 minutes and 14 seconds, and Woodland Hills has scored twice. This time the Wolverines taking advantage of a turnover by the Big Macs, and Joel Shaw rumbled 35 yards for the Woody High touchdown.
Yeah, it looks like Woodland Hills' offense is running on all cylinders right now, finding ways to score in the passing game and in the running game.
So the aforementioned Sullivan Folia on to kick this one away at the 40-yard line. And this high end-over-end kick will carry down to the 10-yard line, where it'll be returned along that far side. And the return man is Ahmad Morris Walker, and he is brought down at the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Big Macs again. And Canon-Mac has not been able to get the football past their own 35-yard line all evening yet.
Yeah, Woodland Hills defense really showing why they're one of the best in the WPIAL. They're just doing a great job. Their front seven has been stout all night long, especially against the run. Really haven't given up anything in the passing game, but I mean, you can tell that there are some wide receivers from our vantage point that have been open, but Enix hasn't been able to find them at all.
So Enes looks to the near sideline. He'll step under center with a pro set backfield behind him, or rather an offset high. And the handoff goes to the tailback Milligan, and he will drive his way to the line of scrimmage and get no further. Down at the bottom of the pile is Rasan McKnight again. A couple other Wolverines involved in the tackle as well.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've seen so far is the fact that number 2, Tariq Thompson, hasn't been in the game so far. McKnight looks like he's taken his place for at least this game. I'm not exactly sure what the reason behind that is, though.
Shotgun, trips to the left of the formation this time. Enes looking to the near side right. It's a jump ball, and Derrick Caraway was fading back, trying to grab a hold of it along the near boundary at the 48, but it's incomplete. Jordan Smith, the intended receiver, but it was nowhere near Smith.
No, it wasn't, but it was definitely a nicely thrown ball. Caraway did a great job of recognizing it right away and just took off, but well, fortunately for Canon-McMillan, that ball was a little bit overthrown.
Just under 7 minutes to go here in quarter number one. Enes 0 for 4 today with an interception thrown. He'll run to the near side right, and this pass is incomplete, intended for Ramir Knight, but he couldn't hang on to that one. He had a Wolverine bearing down, and he paid half a price. He may have paid the whole price had he caught that football.
Yeah, it looked like Damon Johnson just really came across, recognized that the Canon-Mac receiver was right in his crosshairs, and just took a nice shot at the receiver, causing the pass incompletion.
So the punt unit comes on for Woodland Hill, or rather for Canon-Mac. Jordan Smith stands at his own 6-yard line. Derrick Caraway back deep to return at the 50-yard line for the Wolverines. Smith gets this knuckling punt out to the 50-yard line, where it's caught by Caraway. Down the far sideline he'll go. He bursts free 35, and he'll be tripped up as he approaches the 31-yard line. He had one man to beat, and that tackler saved what could have been a touchdown for the visiting Wolverines.
It looked like number 33 for Canon-Mac really saved the day for Canon-Mac. I mean, if it wasn't for him, Caraway would be standing in the end zone because he had a full head of steam, and with his moves and his speed, there's no telling what could happen.
So Woodland Hills has the ball this time at the Canon-Mac 30-yard line. That's the second consecutive drive where Woodland Hills starts inside of Big Mac's territory. The 3 Wolverine drives today have started at the Woodland Hills 48, the Canon-Mac 35, and now at the Canon-Mac 30. Handoff, Shaw trying to slide his way forward. The ball squeaked free, but Shaw will fall on top of it after a gain of about 1, and that brings up second down and 9.
Yeah, certainly with the rain that we had earlier today, I'm sure the AstroTurf is a little bit wet here at Canon-Mac Stadium, so ball security is going to be an issue for, all the skill players for Woodland Hills tonight.
So after the fumble and the recovery by Shaw, it's second and 9 for Woodland Hills. Sidecars to either side of Derrick Caraway, or rather of Daron Cooper. As Cooper looks to the right, he'll dump it off to Joel Shaw, who scoops it off of his shoe tops, and he will be batted around and brought down at the 26-yard line. So a pickup of 3 brings up a third and more manageable 6 instead of third and 9.
Again, this is another situation that I see with the defenses that are playing Woodland Hills in terms of their offense, is the fact that when Woodland Hills goes twins or trips to the right side and leaves one wide receiver to the left, there's no safety coverage. I would really like to see Woodland Hills try to take advantage of that, maybe do a little one-on-one with a fly pattern.
Well, this game may be a perfect opportunity to start to build Cooper's confidence headed to next week against West Allegheny, and further as Mount Lebanon continues to remain undefeated in the SEC, and Penn Hills, of course, a big opponent in a couple of weeks. Cooper throws wide open at the 10-yard line, is the receiver, and into the end zone goes Jermaine Wynn for the second passing touchdown of the game for Daron Cooper.
Yeah, and Coop had every opportunity to run that football, but he saw Wynn standing at about his own 10-yard line with nobody near him and made a nice pass, and good thing that Wynn didn't clinch up and bobble that ball, secured it nicely, and walked right into the end zone.
That's the second touchdown pass of the day for Cooper, and the second one of 20-plus yards. This one a 26-yarder, and Cooper now has 52 yards, and he has yet to throw an incompletion in the passing game. Sullivan Foley's PAT is good, and with 5:44 to play in the first frame, it's Woodland Hills 21 and Canon-Mac 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Woodland Hills with the lead, 21-0.
26-yard touchdown pass from Daron Cooper to Jermaine Wynn. PAT up and in for Sullivan Foley, and Woodland Hills on top of Canon-Mac 21-0. And Fred, right now the Wolverines offense is hitting on all cylinders, and the defense looks like they're doing the same.
Yeah, it's been a total they're doing well in all 3 phases of the game, especially special teams are doing it good with Sullivan Foley putting in his 3-point after attempts, and then in the punt return game, they're doing a great job of putting Woodland Hills in good position, field position-wise.
So Sullivan Foley awaits the signal from the official, and he will boot it away in another beautiful sky-high kick that carries down to the 10, where it will be returned, I believe this time by Milligan to the far sideline. He'll slide past some Wolverines along that far boundary and forced out of bounds right around the 28-yard line, would be first down and 10 for Canon-Mac. Credit that return to Brennan Handyside, number 28 for the visiting Big Macs.
Yeah, again, Canon-Mac really needs to come out throwing the ball, but throwing the ball accurately. And Ace seems to not be in a rhythm right now. He hasn't really connected with anybody. I don't believe he has any completions right now, so he just needs some comfort passes. Easy 5 yards outs would probably be best for him right now.
Ace, he'll hand off to the right-hand side where Milligan has some room. He'll pick up the first down before being chucked out of bounds along the near boundary.
Bryan Milligan, the ball carrier.
Jeremiah Jones in on the tackle, as well as Chris Wilson, but a pickup of a dozen on that play to the 40, and it's a rare first down for the Big Macs offense.
Yeah, you got to start building confidence somewhere in your offense. And certainly picking up 12 yards on first down against a stingy Wolverine defense is certainly the way.
Milligan now with a handful of carries for 17 yards as an ace in the shotgun and a sidecar to his right, trips to the left of the formation, one receiver to the near side right. An ace, he'll throw it over to that far sideline where the ball is caught by Brennan Handyside, and Handyside will carry the ball into Canon-Mac territory. He'll be brought down at the 48-yard line by Derrick Caraway, but it's 1st and 10 for Canon-Mac as they're rolling now.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, that's exactly what they needed for an ace to get comfortable with, throwing the ball, something 5 yards out, passing 5 yards out, and then build that confidence and maybe try to take another shot down the field.
So the first completed pass of the game for Canon-Mac is a 12-yarder, and it sets up Canon-Mac inside of Woodland Hills territory for the first time today. An ace under center. Handoff, stretching to the near side. He will hand off to Milligan, and Miguel Cobbs makes the tackle 4 yards deep in the backfield, maybe 5 yards deep in the backfield, depending on the spot. And they'll place it at the 47, so a 5-yard loss brings up 2nd down and 15.
It looked like Miguel Cobbs really just took advantage of whoever he was in front of him in terms of blocking. He just ran right through him and made a nice tackle in the backfield for a 5-yard loss.
Shotgun formation for an ace. Trips to the left, one receiver to the near side right. Milligan, the sidecar to the right of an ace. An ace. Quick pass to the near side right. It's complete to Jordan Smith, and Smith will try to slide past Wolverines to no avail as Chris Wilson, the first Wolverine there, but the tackle made by Damon Johnson. Also in on the stop is Wolford Clark, and the pickup of 4 brings up 3rd down and 11.
And I certainly see what Canon-Mac's trying to do. Jordan Smith is listed at 6'5", 220 pounds. Now, he's been covered by 2 defenders, Chris Wilson, who's listed at 6 foot, 153, and Derrick Caraway, who's listed at 5'9". So they're trying to take advantage of the height for Canon-Mac.
An ace, back to pass. He's pressured as he runs to the near side right. Trip, but keeps his balance, and he will be brought down. They'll say his knee came down at the 44-yard line. It certainly looked like he went a bit further than that, but the visitors will take that one as the ball will be spotted at the 44-yard line, a pickup of just 5. It looked like a pickup of maybe 7 or 8 initially.
Yeah, it looked like he really kind of not really got cheated, but it looked like I guess the spot of where his knee was down as opposed to where he actually landed brought it back at least 3 yards.
A nice hard count, looks to the near side right to get a signal from the bench. Time winding to 3 minutes to go here, and Canon-Mac is going to be forced to use a timeout. We'll take the opportunity to step away as well. It's Woodland Hills 21, Canon-Mac 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. 21-0, Woodland Hills leads Canon-Mac. The Big Macs using a timeout here as they want to talk things over on 4th down and 6, the first time Canon-Mac inside of Woodland Hills territory here, Fred. And it's a big play for the Big Macs.
Yeah, this is really going to pretty much determine the rest of the game, I think, for them. If they can get this first down, that'll bode well for the rest of the afternoon.
And they won't get even remotely close as the handoff to Milligan is stuffed, maybe a yard gain before Dana Wilson-Adams makes the stop. And the turnover on downs gives the Wolverines the football at their own 43-yard line. And Woodland Hills has yet to start a drive inside of their own 40.
Yeah, the defense is really stepping up today. I mean, a couple of one INT I know for sure, and then the way they've just manhandled their offense in terms of the offensive line and just getting tackles for loss. They're just doing a great job in that aspect of the game today.
So Woodland Hills, after the turnover on down, switches up the offensive line just a bit as Rickard now in at center. And the play action as Cooper rolls to the near side left. He's hit. He'll escape tacklers as he runs to the right. Picks up a nice chip block. Cooper sets his feet, throws the ball. It's complete along the far sideline. Making the catch, Jermaine Wynn, and it's a Woody High first down. Now a flag will come down back at the 31-yard line. And that's going to go against Canon-Mac, Freddie, for a roughing the quarterback.
Yeah, I was really shocked that Woodland Hills didn't get a kind of blocking the back penalty from the referee, but once Coop delivered that ball, it looks like he took a shot that was ill-advised by Canon-McMillan.
Well, Fred, from my vantage point, the block that the Canon-Mac fans took umbrage with was by Lamont Spradley, but it seemed like he got his helmet out in front. It was a shoulder-to-shoulder blow, and, you know, in my opinion, let a shoulder-to-shoulder blow go, especially when the quarterback is running from left to right, and the center had his helmet on the left-hand side or the far sideline against the Canon-Mac player.
Yeah, and what we should not take away is the fact that Coop did a great job of eluding a couple of Canon-Mac defenders, and then got his feet set to make deliver a nice ball while he was on the run.
Cooper throws it straight down the middle. The pass intended for Avram Abramovitz is incomplete, and that's the first incompletion of the day for Daron Cooper.
And I do like, I mean, I never like to see an incomplete pass, but the fact that you took a shot down the field, down the middle of the field, is what I like to see from this Woodland Hills offense. We know that they can do the dinking and dunking, but I like to see them take shots down the field, especially when you have a opponent on the ropes like you do against Canon-Mac.
It was a 20-yard pass play, incidentally, 2 plays ago, as Cooper found Jermaine Wynn. And after the incompletion, it's 2nd down and 10 for Woodland Hills with the ball at the Canon-Mac 22. Trip to the left. A screen is completed to Jermaine Wynn, and Wynn will be brought down, looping his way to the 17-yard line, a pickup of about 5. They'll say he's actually down at the 18 for a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down and 6.
Stop made by number 33, Colton Blodgett.
It looked like, great job of Wynn of catching the ball in traffic and just doing a great job of, like, not worrying about, you know, the defenders in the middle of the field. But give credit to Canon-Mac's number 33, Blodgett, of making a nice tackle and saving what could possibly have been a touchdown.
And a flag flies. And it's a false start against Woodland Hills, so instead of 3rd and 6, it'll be 3rd down and 11 for the Wolverines.
5-yard penalty brings up 3rd down 11.
So 3rd and 11 for the Wolverines. The ball at the 23-yard line, just outside of the 23. Woodland Hills has been successful going to the air today, but we've seen them run the ball efficiently as well. Handoff, Shaw, straight up the middle, spinning his way forward, and he'll be brought down at the 20-yard line, a modest gain of 4, and it is 4th down and about 7 with the ball at the 20-yard line. Does Coach Novak bring on Sullivan Folia here, or do you go for it on 4th and 7 from the 20-yard line?
That's probably, I'm going to say he should probably bring on Sullivan Folia. He's actually struggled a little bit in the field goal game for Woodland Hills. I believe he's only completed 1 field goal so far this season. That was week 1 against Peters Township. So I figured you might as well get him some work and try to, you know, for at least 3.
Wolverines will go for it, though, as Cooper steps back, loses his footing, and he is down way back at the 33-yard line, so a loss of 13 and a turnover on downs, and this could give the Big Mac some life.
Yeah, good job of the Canon-Mac defense of really not going directly after him, after Cooper, making sure that, you know, they had him contained. You know, unfortunately for Cooper, he lost his footing, which resulted in a turnover on downs.
The ball turned over to the Big Macs on downs. 1st down, Big Macs.
So after the turnover on downs, Canon-Mac has the ball at their own 33. Single back set. Handoff, Milligan running right. Has some nice blocking, and Milligan will step out of bounds around the 35-yard line. Derrick Caraway, the closest Wolverine to the play. And a gain of about 1 brings up 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, great job of the Woodland Hills defense of really just stringing that ball along and not letting Milligan get to the edge where he could pick up even more yardage than what he did.
Big Macs with the football, they'll say at the 35, so it's a pickup of 2 for Milligan, who now has 15 yards rushing. Off of play action, an ace, straight drop back. He'll throw it down the middle. He has a receiver out there, and that pass is completed to Ahmad Morris Walker, who slides through the hands of a Wolverine tackler, and Canon-Mac takes advantage of the turnover on downs for the Wolverines. And Fred, yet again, at least one deep pass hurts the Wolverines.
Yeah, and that's where Woodland Hills really seems to come up short a lot, is the big pass play. We've seen it over the past 3 weeks where, Woodland Hills falls asleep at the wheel a little bit and gets beat for a long play. Looks like number 28, Elijah Greer, was on the coverage for that. And the receiver, Morris Walker, just ran a post route and was able to get behind the defense, and Ace just threw a nice pass.
So the PAT is up and inside of the left upright and good. And the Wolverines lead now stands at 14 points. It's Woodland Hills 21 and Canon-Mac 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Dominic Anase, his pass complete to Ahmad Morris Walker for the 65-yard touchdown for Canon-Mac. And the Big Macs are on the board, and Woodland Hills, who had a comfortable 21-point lead, now maybe looking over their shoulder a bit as the lead is down to 14.
Yeah, again, the secondary is really where Woodland Hills seems to come up short. I'm thinking about back to Baldwin and Shaler. All of those teams have been able to get points on the board via the pass and via the long pass at that. Like I said, it just seemed like Woodland Hills might have fell asleep a little bit at the wheel, thinking that they were just going to roll over this team, but Canon-Mac had, another opinion on that.
So consecutive turnover on downs, won by Canon-Mac. Woodland Hills not able to take advantage. Canon-Mac does, though, in just 2 plays, a rushing play by Milligan and then that big pass play from an ace.
Joel Shaw, Jermaine Wynn back in
to Ahmad Morris Walker.
For the Wolverines.
Big guy on to kick off for Canon-Mac is Edward Cottrill. And his end-over-end kick will be returned by Woodland Hills at the 25. It's Derrick Caraway running left to right. He'll cross the 35, the 40, the 50, the 40, the 30, the 25, and he will be spun down inside of the 25. So yet again, Woodland Hills starts with great field position after the return from left to right by Derrick Caraway.
And that's exactly what Canon-Mac didn't need coming off of the excellent drive that they just had resulting in a touchdown, is letting Caraway get to the wall. Woodland Hills did a great job of setting up the wall to the right side, and Caraway just followed his blockers right down the field.
First down, Woodland Hills.
56-yard return for Derrick Caraway. And Woodland Hills has this possession starting with 17 seconds to play in the first frame at that Canon-Mac 24-yard line. Handoff, Shaw running left, turns the corner, cutting it back, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Woodland Hills. So the Wolverines answer right back, Fred, with a 24-yard touchdown.
24 yards and a Woodland Hills touchdown.
I think there might be a flag on the play. It looks like the referee is going over to confer with one of his other officials.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, it was outside of my field of vision, blocked by the pillar I was around the 10, and it'll be a hold against the Wolverines. And the hold took place at the 15-yard line. So Joel Shaw will be credited with 0 yards on the rush. Had it been a hold at the 14, he would have at least got 1 yard there, but the touchdown negated nonetheless, and it's yet again an opportunity for Woodland Hills here, 1st and 10 at the 25.
Yeah, I couldn't see who was guilty of the holding call. It might have been Puel. It might have been Payton Hicks. Both those guys were down there engaged in blockers, but all for naught for Woodland Hills. Moving along the defensive front by Canon-Mac, and
Woodland Hills' job will get a bit easier here. The encroachment by Canon-Mac will give Woodland Hills the football, first down and 5 at the 20-yard line.
Encroachment, the call against the Big Macs. 5-yard penalty.
8 seconds to play here in the first frame. The clock is stopped. Woodland Hills, in all likelihood, gets one more play here in the first quarter. Woodland Hills on top 21-7. Sidecars to either side of Cooper. Handoff, Hicks running right, cuts it inside. He will be brought down after picking up the first down at the 9-yard line.
And on that run, it looked like Payton Hicks got a little anxious. He really ran past Joel Shaw, who's done a great job of lead blocking for Hicks, but still picked up nice yardage on first down.
And they say that Hicks was down at the 25-yard line. The ball just shy of the first down marker. At least from our vantage point, it appeared that Hicks had picked it up, but that's irrelevant. That's the end of the first quarter. That is relevant, and we will take a break. It's Woodland Hills 21 and Canon-Mac 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills, the top team in the Southeastern Conference, tied with Mount Lebanon. Both teams 5-0 on the year. They are 4-0 in the SEC. Bethel Park in third place, 2-1 in Southeastern Conference action. Penn Hills and Upper St. Clair both with 2 losses in conference. Peter Township 1-3 in the SEC, and Baldwin and Canon-Mac have yet to win a game in the Southeastern Conference. Peters, Baldwin, and Canon-Mac all 1-4 on the season thus far, Freddie.
Yeah, I think actually if Woodland Hills wins this game, they actually clinch a playoff spot with two section games left to go. I mean, with everybody with 2 losses, probably going to have 3 by the end of the week or end of the year. They should be good to go for the playoffs after this game.
Well, playoffs are not the ultimate goal for Woodland Hills at this point, Fred. And quite frankly, the #1 team in the state, your ultimate goal right now needs to be win a state title, win your first state title. 29 years of Woodland Hills football, 5 WPIAL championships, 10 trips to the WPIAL championship game. I think this is the year where Woodland Hills may find that opportunity to make it to Hershey and win.
Yeah, if they're going to do that, though, they're going to need to be completely healthy. They're going to need to have Miles Sanders in that backfield with Joel Shaw. They really need to continue the play of Cooper. He's done a great job tonight of completing passes, either down the field or the short yardage passes, and he's just done a great job all night tonight.
Woodland Hills, second down and a very short one here with the ball at the 15-yard line. It appeared Hicks had picked up the first down, but to no avail. Handoff Shaw. He'll hesitate. Now he'll drive his way forward. He's got the first down inside of the 15 to the 14-yard line, and a fresh set of downs for the visiting Wolverines.
It's certainly who you want the ball in their hands when you need 1 yard to get that first down. It's certainly Joel Shaw. He's just done a great job tonight of really sniffing out the yardage that he needs to get, whether it be a touchdown run or a first down run just like he just had.
And the end around this time going to go to Jermaine Wynn. He's got a huge hole, and he will run unscathed for a Woodland Hills touchdown. But a flag comes in yet again, this time at the 10-yard line, and this one could be coming back. This could be the second touchdown negated on this drive. And it's going to be holding against the Wolverines.
Holding against Woodland Hills.
It's probably going to have to be somebody on the left side of the offensive line because it looked like everything was clean, and Jermaine Wynn did a great job of just following blockers. And I'm looking at the replay, and I really didn't see one. Maybe you did, Adam, but I didn't see anything. And Wynn has sadly negated what would have been his second touchdown of the night.
The defensive end on the left-hand side, or rather on the right-hand side of the defensive line for Canon-Mac, the left side of the Woodland Hills offensive line, turned his shoulders. That forced Stephen Rickards' hands on both sides of the defensive end instead of up front, and that may have been what the official saw. I didn't see much jersey grabbing, but the arms were outstretched around the Canon-Mac players, so a cheapie, but technically the correct call. So Woodland Hills 1st and 16 with the ball at the 20-yard line. Stephen Pule changes that on the touchdown pass of 20 yards from Daron Cooper.
Again, Cooper just really keeping his eyes downfield. He really, Pule just ran a 3-step post and got behind the defender, and it was almost a direct throw in front of Cooper, and he just did a great job of delivering a pass, and Buell made a nice catch.
Thomas Sullivan, Folio.
Stephen Buell, I mean, he's such a big target out there, and this passing game is really rolling for Woodland Hills. And if you're a Woodland Hills fan, you've got to be happy with the way Daron Cooper is playing this evening. 11:21 to play in the second frame. It is Woodland Hills 28 and Canon-Mac 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. 11:21 to play in quarter number 2. Woodland Hills on top of Canon-Mac 28-7, and the Wolverines doing it in the air. 3 touchdown passes for Daron Cooper today to 3 different Wolverines. He's thrown 1 to Hoots. He's thrown 1 to Jermaine Wynn, and now he's thrown 1 to Stephen Buell.
And that really gives Woodland Hills more of an offensive threat. We know Joel Shaw and Miles Sanders do the bulk of the work, but when you can throw 3 touchdowns in one game, that means the offense is going to be clicking on all cylinders.
Sullivan Folia's kickoff, end over end, carries down to the 12-yard line, and the tackle made at around the 24-yard line. The return man is Greyden Piechnick. And it is
stop made by number 82, Damian Thomas.
Damian Thomas on the tackle for Woodland Hills. And it's 1st and 10 for Canon-Mac with the ball at the 24. Woodland Hills defense, they want to make a stop here and redeem themselves.
Yeah, great job of Thomas. Really, he hasn't gotten a lot of playing time so far this season. Doing a great job of getting down there and making that special teams tackle.
Ball at the Canon-Mac 24-yard line. Ball along the near hash is Inace in the shotgun. Looks left, throws the ball to the near side, and it's through the hands of Jordan Smith. Derrick Caraway had a hand on it as well, but the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, great job of Canon-Mac of having the outside receiver, number 23, Morris Walker, run off the cornerback, which left Jordan Smith wide open in the flats. Unfortunately, Smith couldn't come up with the reception.
In a shotgun, he'll hand off. Milligan running to the near side left, has a nice downfield block. Derrick Caraway wraps him up, but still driving his way forward is Milligan. He'll pick up about a dozen up to the 36-yard line. And it's 1st and 10 for the Big Macs at their own 36.
Yeah, and sometimes when you get games like this, Adam, where it's 28-7 in the first half, tendency is to start to maybe quit on your team. But it looked like Milligan really doesn't have any quit in him. He keeps those feet moving and keeps going, and is not determined to let this be a blowout for Woodland Hills.
A nice shotgun, sidecar to his left. 1 receiver to the near boundary left, 2 to the far boundary right. Inace looking right. He has a receiver out there wide open. Catching the football is Greyden Piechnick. And how did he get behind the Woodland Hills D-backs?
Really had to be some miscommunication again in the secondary for Woodland Hills. You had twins to that side. And for some reason, I don't know if the inside defender thought he had him or what the case may be, but Inace threw a nice ball. Unfortunately, he hung it up there a little bit too long, and the receiver had to wait for it, but still, nice catch and giving the Canon-Mac Big Macs some momentum in the second quarter.
.29-yard completion as Inace throws it down the left side, and the ball batted at the last second by Derrick Caraway. He saved a touchdown on the pass intended for Greyden Piechnick. Had it not been for Caraway batting that one away, it would have been the second long touchdown in as many series for Canon-Mac.
Yeah, Piechnick thought he was assured a touchdown on that last play, but Caraway did a great job of closing on the ball and batting it away just as that ball was about to get to Piechnick.
A timeout on the field. I think Coach Novak wants to talk over things defensively And I can't say I blame him because Canon-Mac has thrown the ball well. Timeout on the field will step away as well. 10:16 to play in quarter number 2. It's Woodland Hills 28 and Canon-Mac 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Cloudy evening here in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania. A crisp, cool night for high school football. Some rain earlier, but that seems like it has cleared the area, and that is good news. Canon-Mac with the football, 2nd down and 10 at the Woodland Hills 35-yard line. A couple of big pass plays for Canon-Mac thus far this evening. Anace in the shotgun. He'll throw it to the near side left. This pass is complete to Brennan Handyside, who slides his way inside of the 20-yard line and finally forced out of bounds around the 19 and a pickup of 16. And Canon-Mac continues to move the ball in the air.
Yeah, I think Canon-McMillan has actually found the weakness of Woodland Hills, and that's been the pass defense. Whether it be the secondary or even the linebackers have had some issues getting outside. Running at 4-3 defense, that'll happen from time to time. So, you know, Canon-Mac really needs to just continue this play calling, and hopefully it'll result in some points for them.
And Nace now with 126 yards in the air by my count. He'll look to the near side left. The pass is batted down, incomplete. Retreating was Saeed Holt. He nearly came out of there with the interception, but to no avail, and that brings up 2nd down and 10, the ball at the 19.
I can't say I really agree with Anace on that last pass. You threw in the triple coverage. I know it's your big defender or big receiver in Jordan Smith, standing 6'5", but when you have 3 Woodland Hills defenders around him, it's kind of hard to complete that pass.
Anace trips right. Sidecar to the right as well is Milligan. Anace, he'll run to his right-hand side. He's pressured late as he releases the football, and the ball is out of bounds, incomplete, as it carries to the far boundary. And with just under 10 minutes to play, it's 3rd down and 10 for Canon-Mac with the football right around the 19-yard line.
Again, Anace looks like he was trying to go to Jordan Smith on that last play. Jordan Smith ran an out and up, but it was not disguised very well by Smith, and Woodland Hills didn't fall for it. And good pass defense throwing into double coverage.
Jeremiah Jones back there in coverage, as was Christopher Wilson. Canon-Mac straight to the line of scrimmage here on 3rd down and 10. Getting the play from the near sideline. 2 receivers left. Double tight end formation with a lone setback in Milligan. Hard count by Anace. Woodland Hills stands true. Handoff Milligan, and he is swallowed up in the backfield by Amon Baldwin Youngblood, or was that Big Wilford Clark? Either way, a defensive lineman ate the lunch of an O-lineman there.
Certainly, and Will Clark's really been kind of quiet on defense today. He really hasn't been in there that much with the emergence of Miguel Cobbs, but man, did he just bust through the offensive line and put a nice hit on, actually just landed on Milligan. Really didn't even hit him, just landed on him.
Yeah, Milligan slid down there. He felt the swallow up coming and decided to take it himself. It's 4th down and 13 at the 21 as Anace with twins to either side drops back, looks left, throws, and the pass is batted around and incomplete. It was through the hands of Rasan McKnight back there. It was intended for Jordan Smith, and the turnover on downs gives Woodland Hills the football at their own 21-yard line.
You know, the one thing we really haven't mentioned in all this, Adam, is the fact that the offensive line for Canon-McMillan has given Anace a lot of time to pass. I mean, he's back there 3, 4, 5 seconds and is able to deliver, you know, quality footballs to his receivers. But fortunately for Woodland Hills, Jeremiah Jones made a great defense on that pass.
Woodland Hills steps out of the huddle, pistol formation with Shaw behind Cooper. 2 receivers left, 1 to the near side right. Ball set in the middle of the field at the 21-yard line. Handoff. Joel Shaw breaking left, sidestepping a Big Mac into open territory. Shaw to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, and he'll be forced out of bounds around the 37-yard line. A huge run by Joel Shaw.
It was more of a nifty run than anything. He just did a great job of really sidestepping at least 2 Canon-Mac Big Macs And then once you get Joel Shaw in the open field, unless you have an excellent angle on him, it's really hard to get him down. Good thing for Canon-McMillan, they had 2 defenders with good angles on Joel Shaw, and they were able to get him out of bounds.
So it's a 29-yard pickup because they say Shaw stepped out of bounds with his left foot at the 42, not the 37, where that right foot finally went out of bounds. 83 yards on the ground now for Shaw. He'll take the handoff again, bouncing it to the near side right, inside of the 40, spinning his way down to the 37-yard line. A pickup of 5 brings up 2nd down and 5.
And it seems like Canon-McMillan is trying to figure out the best way to tackle Joel Shaw. It really isn't up high because he's too strong. Down low, he has excellent footwork. It seems that if you can get him around his waist and slow him up a little bit, that's probably going to be the best ticket for you.
Pistol formation, Twins left, 1 receiver to the near side right. Cooper, he'll keep it, running to his left-hand side, has some room, inside of the 30, the 25, still on his feet to the 20-yard line, and finally out of bounds he will go with a 17-yard pickup and a Woodland Hills first down.
Great job of Coop getting around the left side of the offensive line. And, I mean, we really underestimate how well Coop can run and pick up some good yardage when his team needs him.
2 Canon Mac players were slow to get to their feet. One is still down at around the 32-yard line. That injured player is Brennan Handyside, who has done it offensively thus far today for Canon Mac. Taking a look at his left ankle. This will give us an opportunity to look forward, Fred, to a non-conference game with huge implications. A year ago, Woodland Hills took on West Allegheny. They were the #1 teams in Quad A and AAA respectively. That's the case again this year. Woodland Hills taking on West A this season at the Wolverines, and Woodland Hills, I'm sure, has to have at least a measure of revenge on their minds after losing in overtime at West A last week.
And it was an exciting game to call for you and I, certainly. There is going to be an air of revenge with the Wolverines coming off of that loss, overtime loss, the walk-off, extra points. It's definitely a tough pill to swallow. And actually, that started the trend of 3 losses in 4 games for Woodland Hills. So, they're going to look back. They know what they have ahead of them. It's going to be a #1 versus #1 opportunity again. But Woodland Hills really needs to come out and just keep firing and keep playing like they're playing today, and hopefully the result will be different and Woodland Hills will come out with a victory.
And we talked about it a season ago. While it's a non-conference game, that doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot for the conference standings. It certainly will matter for the playoff seedings down the road.
Yes, certainly, you lose to a AAA team, that doesn't bode well for you going into the playoffs, especially seeding-wise. So, again, just need to focus on the rest of this game and get to that game.
Daron Cooper, he was pressured, and as he tried to run to the near side, the ball came loose, and Canon Mac will come out of there with it, and Woodland Hills turns it over for the first time today. And quite frankly, Fred, for the first time in a long time, I don't remember Woodland Hills giving the ball up in recent memory.
No, certainly haven't. I mean, it's probably been at least 3 games that I can remember since Woodland Hills lost a fumble. They've been very good in terms of ball security. Despite Joel Shaw losing a ball but recovering his own fumble earlier in the game, Woodland Hills hasn't given up the ball too much this season.
7:40 to go in quarter number 2. Canon Mac looks to take advantage of the Woodland Hills turnover at their own 31-yard line. First play, a running play for Milligan, who will pick up about 3 yards up to the 34-yard line. Tackle on the play by Carlos Blanco Garcia.
Gain of 3 yards, 2nd down 7.
And Milligan now has himself 27 yards, and he's done it the hard way. Offset eye backfield behind an ace. 1 receiver to either side. Handoff Milligan trying to run left. He'll slide past a Wolverine and brought down close to first down yardage. Tackle made by Derrick Caraway. Also in on the stop is Nazir Taylor, but Saeed Holt had an opportunity to make the stop near the line of scrimmage to no avail.
Yeah, and that's one person I'm surprised that he slid past, because Saeed Holt's usually a very short tackler, whether it be on defense or special teams, but Milligan did a great job of eluding him and picking up first down yardage.
Pickup of about 7 up to the 41-yard line. He now has 34 yards on the ground, does Milligan. Receivers split to either side. Hard count by an ace. Handoff. Milligan running to the near side left. Tackle made by Wilford Clark. But Milligan still able to pick up about 3 yards up to the 44-yard line before Clark makes that tackle.
Yeah, good job of Clark.
3 yards, second down, 7.
Really, I mean, what he's done all season long is just make nice tackles, not letting the running backs for any team get any steam, full head of steam to pick up even more yardage than what they did.
One back set behind an ace. It's Milligan back there. 6 minutes to play here as Milligan takes the carry to the right-hand side. He's met at the line of scrimmage. Still able to drive his way for a pickup of about 2 up to the 46-yard line. Couple of Wolverines there. At the bottom of the pile is Carlos Blanco Garcia. Also in on the tackle is Rasan McKnight.
A good job of the front 7 of Woodland Hills on that last play, of really sniffing out Milligan and just not letting him get anywhere on that last play.
.5:22 to play in the first half. Inace in the shotgun, running right, throwing right, and it is batted around. Do the Wolverines come out of there with the interception? They do. It's Damon Johnson with the takeaway, and Woodland Hills takes it right back from the Big Macs.
I think there might have been some miscommunication from Canon-McMillan on that last play. It looked like there were 2 receivers in the same area, but that didn't matter anyway, because Damon Johnson did a great job of, once he saw that ball coming right to him, just put his hands around it and made a nice interception.
Cannon Mack giving the football back to the Wolverines after Woodland Hills gives it up on the fumble by Daron Cooper. The takeaway by Damon Johnson, the second pick of the day by the Woodland Hills D. Trips right as Cooper drops back, throws it across the middle, in and out of the hands of Stephen Puel. He found himself behind 3 defenders, but just couldn't hang on to it.
Puel is going to be kicking himself in the butt from that last play. I mean, even though the ball was thrown a little bit behind him, as sure-handed as Puel is, he certainly should have came up with that catch and possibly a touchdown for all of that.
So now second down and 10 after that incompletion by Daron Cooper. Just the second incompletion of the day for Coop, who has himself 5 completions for 73 yards, 5 of 7 for those 73, and 3 TDs. Snap to Cooper, handoff to Shaw. He spins his way free to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, crossing the goal line. Joel Shaw with a 48-yard touchdown, and Woodland Hills on top, 35-7.
Great run by Joel Shaw. Just taking the ball off of left tackle, really, didn't have much opening, but once he made one spin move and was able to get his feet set and get going again, he picked up some nice blocking down the field. And what really happened at the end of this play is he outran 2 Canon Big Macs on his way to the end zone.
The extra point out of the Jermaine Wynn hole.
So the second touchdown of the game for Joel Shaw. I mean, he has now eclipsed the century mark, the PAT up and in for Sullivan Folia. And with 4:54 to play in the second quarter, it is Woodland Hills 35 and Cannon Mac 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. A 48-yard touchdown run by Joel Shaw puts Woodland Hills on top of Canon-Mac 35-7. The second touchdown of the game for Joel Shaw. And he did this one with some style, running to the left. He spun his way around some tacklers right around the line of scrimmage. And after that, once he got to the far boundary, he was off to the races. And I'm always impressed, Freddie, with the way the big man can move.
Yeah, he certainly gets down the field in a hurry. Like you said, Adam, he did a great job of that spin move. Was pretty classic. Got around the left side of the offensive line, made one spin move, and once he regained his balance, it just really took off down the field.
Woodland Hills on top of Canon-Mac 35-7 as Sullivan Folia kicks this ball down to the 9-yard line where it'll be returned by Milligan running to the near side left, but he won't get very far as the tackle is made by Damian Thomas right around that 21, and it's 1st and 10 for the Big Macs there.
And it looks like Damian Thomas is channeling his inner Saeed Holt, making the last two special teams tackles on kickoff coverage.
Canon-Mac with the football at their own 21. They'll go straight from the near sideline to the line of scrimmage. Coach Novak and his staff looking on as Woodland Hills holds this 28-point advantage. An ace in the shotgun, sidecars to either side, twins right, one to the near side left. Snap and handoff. It'll go to Milligan, and he'll be brought down after about a yard gain to the 22-yard line. Wilford Clark on the stop for the Wolverines.
I think it's way too early for Canon-Mac to abandon the passing game, even though an ace threw an interception on his last attempt. I think it's still imperative if they want to continue or try to get back into this game that they keep airing out the ball.
And Ace waits for the signal. As the clock winds to 4:10 to go here in the first half. Twins right, one receiver to the near side, left side, cars to either side of an Ace. He'll drop back, looking left the whole way. The pass is bobbled and incomplete. It was in the hands of the receiver, Ahmad Morris Walker, and he was bobbling the football on a little shoulder chuck along the near boundary, forces the ball to go incomplete.
And I'm not sure if Nazir Taylor was looking for the interception or looking for the knockout blow, but I think he came up short on both ends, because I thought that he could have really put a nice hit on the wide receiver, but really missed out on that play.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 9 for the Big Macs. The football at their own 22. Inace pressured, wrapped, sacked by Joel Shaw. The big fella does about everything.
And that's really the first time that Inace has been under pressure from the Woodland Hills Wolverines. The Canon-Mac offensive line has done a great job of keeping the front 7 at bay, but Joel Shaw was just determined to get the sack on that last play.
Leaves the Big Macs with 4th down.
That's the first sack of the game for the Woodland Hills defense, and an ace now with -2 yards rushing after having a 5-yard carry and then that 7-yard loss on the sack. Jordan Smith will punt it away for Canon-Mac. Derrick Caraway is back deep to return for Woodland Hills, standing at the Canon-Mac 46. Nearly blocked, but Smith will get it away, and Caraway is hit as he catches the football. And they will not say kick-catch interference because Caraway was able to hang on to it at the 50-yard line. But that contact came basically as Caraway caught the football, Freddie.
Yeah, you really have to give a lot of credit to that handle by Caraway, because of the fact that he had at least 2 Canon-Mac Big Macs bearing down on him, but really didn't pay any attention, made sure he secured the catch, and Woodland Hills is looking at 1st down at the midfield stripe.
28-point advantage. Woodland Hills would like to make it a 35-point lead before halftime. Then they'll go into the modified timekeeping system for the second frame. Twins right. One receiver to the far boundary left. Cooper in the shotgun. He has thrown 3 touchdown passes today, but there's a timeout on the field as Canon-Mac wants a stoppage. We'll step away as well. 3:10 to play in quarter number 2. It is Woodland Hills 35 and Canon-Mac 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills with the football at the 50-yard line, leading Canon-Mac 35-7. Adam Gusky, Fred Guy on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. 2 touchdowns by Joel Shaw. Daron Cooper has thrown 3 touchdown passes, 1 to Hoots, 1 to Wynn, and 1 to Puel today. Cooper throwing again, this time complete to Hoots, who dances at the 50-yard line. Now he's going to retreat and then burst forward again, and Hoots, who ran for about 20 yards, ends up picking about 4.
Pass complete to number 33, Mack Hoots.
Definitely an interesting play by Mack Hoots on that last catch. Couldn't find anything initially after he caught the ball, decided to reverse field, but there was nothing there either, so decided to come back to the right-hand side and picked up 4 yards before taking a nice shot by Milligan.
So Daron Cooper now 7 completions for 97 yards. That's the second completion to Mack Hoots on the day. Trips left, Cooper in the pistol with Shaw behind him. Shaw takes the handoff, drives his way to the right-hand side, pushing his way close to the first down marker, but he'll be brought down about a yard shy, and that brings up 3rd down and 1, but the clock keeps running.
Yeah, good job of Joel Shaw being patient, not looking for the home run ball, just taking what Canon-Mac give him, and now Woodland Hills is first facing a 3rd and 1.
141 yards on the ground thus far for Joel Shaw to go with a pair of touchdowns as the clock winds down to 1:45 to play. Here in the second quarter, trips left yet again. Cooper in the shotgun sidecar to his right. In Shaw. Coop. He looked to get the snap, but I think the play clock ran down. Woodland Hills got to the line of scrimmage with just about 9 seconds before the play clock expired, and Woodland Hills guilty of the delay of game. So instead of 3rd down and 1, it's now 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, and typically Coach Novak really has his eye on those play clocks when they're available. I'm surprised he didn't call a timeout just before the clock went 0.
So Woodland Hills out of the huddle here on 3rd down and 6. Will they go to the air yet again? We see twins to either side. Cooper in the shotgun. Sidecar to his left is Shaw. Cooper, straight drop back. Steps forward. He's got the first down if he runs. Picks up a nice block by Shaw. Cooper running to the far side, inside of the 30. The 25, he dances to the 20, and he'll be brought down around the 15-yard line.
And that's something we really haven't seen too much from Cooper today is his ability to run the ball. I mean, there was one other time that I remember that he ran the ball, but that looked like it was more of a design run. This one was a drop back. He didn't see anybody open, pulled the ball down, and made some really nice moves on his way to a first down, picking up some nice blocks as well.
Daron Cooper, 48 yards on the ground on 2 carries today. I've yet to take into account the lost yardage on the sack. I'll catch that up at halftime and update his rushing numbers by second half. Handoff, Shaw feigns right, goes back left, picks up some yardage. He'll drive his way towards the first down stick. It depends on the spot, but it looks like he got it.
Yeah, Joel Shaw just took the ball off the left side of the offensive line, really making some nice moves, some start-stop moves on his way to close to first down yardage.
So they'll say it's a 9-yard pickup to the 6-yard line. The line to gain is the 5-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the near side right, tight end to the right of the formation as well. Handoff, Shaw. He's got the first down, and he's got the touchdown. A 6-yard TD for the Wolverines, and Woodland Hills has opened up a 41-7 advantage.
And that might have been one of the easier touchdown runs that Joel Shaw had. The offensive line did a great job. The guard-center combination on the left side really opened up a gaping hole for Joel Shaw, and he basically just walked right into the end zone.
3 touchdowns via the air and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Woodland Hills, a balanced offensive attack, and other than a couple of big pass plays, the defense has played well too, at least through the first 23 minutes of action. The PAT is up and in for Thomas Sullivan Folia, and with 48 seconds to play in the second quarter, it's Woodland Hills on top of Canon-Mac 42-7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. 6-yard touchdown run by Joel Shaw puts Woodland Hills on top of Canon-Mac 42-7. And as Fred talked about before the break, a very easy TD for Joel Shaw. There was a huge hole, and once he picked up the first down, he was able to walk across the goal line for the touchdown.
Yeah, like I said, a great job of the offensive line of just doing a great job all day long. For Woodland Hills, whether it be in the passing game or the running game. You know, I like to give them as much credit as possible because I know Adam likes to as well. So, I mean, they're just doing a fantastic job of paving the way for Cooper and Shaw and Hicks today.
Sullivan Folia setting the football. Today's game being broadcast on another television station as well, so we've had some longer delays leading into the kickoffs, but Sullivan Folia this time will kick a low squibbing kick that stays in bounds for quite a while, but finally rolls out of bounds around the 12-yard line. So Canon-Mac will start this drive at their own 35.
Flag on the play with the kickoff being sent out of bounds.
And really, that's probably the only mistake that Sullivan Folia has made so far today in this game. Has done a great job with all 6 point-after attempts. And has done it with the exception of maybe the second game where he kind of struggled against Bethel Park, has really turned his game around and has been really consistent in the point-after attempts.
So again, Canon-Mac goes from the sideline to the line of scrimmage, where it'll be 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Twins left, one receiver to the far boundary right. Handoff, Milligan trying to bounce it to the near side left. Picks up a seal block as he dances his way, and Milligan will be brought down after about a gain of 2 to the 37-yard line. Rasan McKnight on the tackle for the Wolverines.
Number 39, Rasan McKnight.
And here's one thing that the Wolverines coaching staff probably wants to take a look at. It seems that when number 10, Jordan Smith, is in tight to the formation as a tight end, they seem to run the ball a little bit more. When he's out as a flanker or as a slot, they seem to pass the ball. So it's something that Woodland Hills needs to take a look at.
Handoff, Milligan runs right. He's batted around and brought down in the backfield. A handful of Wolverines were there involved in the tackle. Amon Baldwin Youngblood amongst them. Damon Johnson also back there on the tackle, and he's slow to get up, and that'll be the final play of half number 1. Woodland Hills leading Canon-Mac 42-7 at halftime, so we'll go to the modified timekeeping system for the second half. And Fred, we talked about it a few minutes ago. Other than a couple of big passing plays, this has been a very complete first half for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, what's most impressive to me is the fact that Woodland Hills has been able to really pass the ball with great efficiency and then scoring points off of those passes. Coach Novak has to be elated with that aspect of his defense, or offense, I'm sorry.
Again, your halftime score, 42-7, Woodland Hills on top of Canon-McMillan. As we head to halftime, folks, on the television side, stay tuned for the second half. On the radio side, stay tuned for the Woodland Hills Football Network halftime show. You've been tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to introduce the 2015-16 Woodland Hills High School Marching Band and Images Visual Ensemble, under the field direction of drum major Robert Carr and field conductors Sidney Capali and Anthony Scaramucci. Tonight's performance contains music from their 2015 field show
0457.
And we welcome you back to Memorial Stadium in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, home of the Canon-Mac Big Macs and the home of tonight's WPIAL AAAA Southeastern Conference matchup between Woodland Hills and Canon-McMillan. Woodland Hills 5-0 on the year, well on their way to moving to 6-0, and more importantly, 5-0 in Southeastern Conference action with this 42-7 lead over the Canon-Mac Big Macs. Looking at some numbers from that first half, Joel Shaw, 3 touchdowns, 156 yards. Daron Cooper, 7 of 9 for 100 yards in the air, 3 touchdown completions. And Woodland Hills, Fred, offensively clicking on all cylinders other than a fumble lost from Daron Cooper. Defensively, a couple of big passing plays for Canon-Mac, but other than that, the defense has held strong as well.
They have. They, especially against the run. I mean, Milligan's been able to do some things here and there with the ball, but largely he's been shut down by the front 7 of Woodland Hills. And conversely, with the secondary, been a little abused in the first half, and I'm sure you're going to see a lot of more passes from Inace, considering that Woodland Hills is probably going to take out the majority of their first-team defense early in the third quarter.
You talk about Milligan and the way he's running the football. He has 42 yards rushing, but he's done it the hard way on 16 carries. Meanwhile, Inace, the quarterback, not terribly efficient at all. 5 of 17 for 126 yards. He does have that big 65-yard touchdown pass, which accounts for more than half of his passing yardage. He's also thrown a pair of interceptions. So Woodland Hills, Fred, has been able to take the ball away twice when Canon-Mac went to the air.
Yeah, you're right, but for me, in my mind, that stands out, that 65-yard touchdown pass. You know, I like to see Woodland Hills put up, you know, zeros on the scoreboard, and I'm sure the coaching staff and the players do as well. But you know, it's been a force of habit for Woodland Hills, leveling up the big play. You know, I can think of a few against Bethel Park, Baldwin, Shaler. You know, so they're susceptible to the long ball, but you know, in terms of everything else aspectly on defense, they're just outstanding today.
Now, one thing that we're going to take advantage of right now is an opportunity, Fred, to talk about next week's game, because we are in the modified timekeeping system, so the clock's going to run a lot. Let's talk about next week. Woodland Hills taking on West Allegheny. Number one, it's pride because Woodland Hills lost in overtime after a missed point after touchdown. Number two, it's a game against the number one team in AAA in Western Pennsylvania. Woodland Hills, the number one team in the WPIAL and in the state. And number three, Woodland Hills wins that game. That puts them one step closer to an undefeated regular season and the number one seed headed into the playoffs.
Well, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Mount Lebanon's a really good football team. They have them the week after, but it's definitely a great stepping stone if they can get a victory against West A next weekend. You know, the one thing that I read in the papers this week is the fact that West A has a bigger than average offensive line for them. But, you know, we have Woodland Hills has a pretty big offensive and defensive line. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a little bit, I think it's going to be opposite of last year's game where it was, you know, both teams were in the 40s. I think it's going to be more of a lower scoring contest, and special teams and defensive touchdowns might be the key in that for either team to get a victory.
Now, we talked about it before the game, but folks at home, you may be wondering, why are Fred and I passing back and forth a microphone and my cell phone taped to this microphone? Well, we forgot an absolutely pivotal piece of our audio equipment, and without that, we had to scrounge through all of our things and put together this last-minute system. It worked. We thank Larry George for his help, as well as the rest of our television crew for getting this one done for us. And we thank you for joining us no matter where you are here on the Woodland Hills Football Network and sticking with us, even though we look a bit silly this evening.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I noticed when I didn't see that case. I mean, it's a pretty pivotal part of our production. Didn't see it, started asking questions, and then, you know, everybody kicked in, and kicked in quickly, too, considering we got here pretty late due to traffic. But fantastic job of the production team tonight.
Again, your halftime score, 42-7, Woodland Hills on top of Canon-Mac. The Wolverines will get the football to begin the second half. Woodland Hills along the far sideline. They wear their road white uniforms, white jerseys, white pants, turquoise numerals with the black trim, turquoise helmets with the black ears and stripes. The helmets created for the Princeton Tigers moved with the Princeton head coach to Michigan, where it became famous, and that's why the Woodland Hills Wolverines wear it. The same lids are on the near sideline, just in a different color scheme, as the Canon-Mac Big Macs. They wear their royal blue jerseys with the white pants, the gold numerals with the blue trim, and those gold helmets, or rather those blue helmets with the gold ears and stripes. Woodland Hills, the number one ranked team in the WPIAL. Just behind them, an undefeated team in the Penn Trafford Warriors, and just behind the Warriors are the defending WPIAL champions, the Pine Richland Rams. North Allegheny, the 4th-ranked team according to MSA Sports. Pittsburgh Central Catholic ranked 5th at 4-1 on the year. Undefeated Mount Lebanon is 5-0. They stand 5-0 because their non-conference opponents have not been too tough, and they have yet to play top-ranked Woodland Hills. Of course, that game will be huge if both teams remain undefeated in 2 weeks. McKeesport checks in at the 7th spot with a 4-run record. Bethel Park 3-2 on the season is the 8th-ranked team. Seneca Valley 3-2 on the year. They're the number 9-ranked team. And Gusky, out of the Foothills Conference, makes a rare appearance in the MSA Sports Top 10 rankings. Kicking off, the big fella for Canon-Mac, defensive lineman Edward Cottrill. Pair of Wolverines back deep to return, including Stephon Wells, and the kick comes to the near sideline and out of bounds, and Woodland Hills will get the football at the 35-yard line. And Fred, we've seen Woodland Hills have good field position throughout the evening, and for the most part, they've taken advantage.
Yeah, and that's probably a good idea that Cottrill kicked the ball out of bounds, considering you had the burners back there for Woodland Hills. You don't want to kick it deep and give them an opportunity to have a nice return to start the second half.
So the reserve quarterback will step out there for Woodland Hills. It's Tyrese Robinson who will man the offense, and Payton Hicks is the setback, dotting the pistol to receivers right, one to the near side left. Handoff, Hicks running right. Had a hole for a moment, but it closed up quickly. A pickup of about 2 brings up 2nd down and 8.
And let's not forget the fact that, Tyrese Robinson hasn't had a lot of action this time, so I think Woodland Hills is probably going to calm the playbook down, have a heavy dose of Payton Hicks, at least in the third quarter. Hicks has the speed and the potential to break it at any time, but, who knows what's going to happen in the second half.
Pistol formation with Hicks behind Robertson. Robinson running right. Pumps, throws, the pass intended for Hoots is incomplete, and that brings up 3rd down and 8 for the Wolverines.
It wasn't. I thought it was a nice throw by Robinson. Unfortunately, put it over the head of Hoots. I thought he had Puel coming across as a tight end coming across the field, but I guess he didn't see him or didn't think he was open long enough for him to deliver a pass to him.
Clock rolls rather in the modified timekeeping system. It would have been stopped with the incompletion traditionally. Twins right, one receiver near side left. Robinson straight drop back. He's got all kinds of pressure on him as they were setting up the wide receiver screen, and the pass intended for Christopher Wilson incomplete, and that'll send the punt unit out for the first time today, Freddie.
Yeah, I don't know if it looked like they were trying to set up the wide receiver screen, but I'm not sure if I'm not exactly sure what Robinson's sight line was, because I thought the wide receiver was open but just couldn't connect.
Woodland Hills stirred things up a bit on the offensive line on that previous set as well, as Stephen Rickard moved to the center spot and Baldwin Youngblood came in. That moved Lamont Spratley over to left guard and took Wilfred Clark out of the football game. The punt by Chris Wilson carries out of bounds, and the teams exchange 35-yard lines to begin this second half.
Yeah, you got to give your hats off to the defensive unit for Canon-McMillan, which probably has most of their starters still in there, but good job of just staying home and being persistent, getting after the ball, and forcing a 3-and-out by the Woodland Hills offense.
Dominic Inez in at quarterback. In the shotgun, sidecar to his left, twins to either side. Most of the starting D out there for Woodland Hills, and some movement up front early. Looked like Wilfred Clark moved, but he points to the offensive line, and I think the line judge on that far sideline will agree with Wilford Clark. It's a false start against Canon-Mac. That'll back the Big Macs up 5 yards. And Fred, I know you as a defensive player, you know, you move, you start pointing immediately.
Oh, absolutely. You don't, even if it is your fault, you don't want to let the officials know that you did it. So that's why you start pointing no matter who moved first.
Clock winding down to 9 minutes to play here in the third frame. Inez motions the back to his right-hand side now. Twins to either side. Inez looking left, throwing left, the pass. Bobbled and dropped. It was in and out of the hands of Ahmad Morris Walker. And a flag comes in. I think it may be a late hit against the Wolverines, but it certainly seemed like that hit was meant to knock the ball free from Morris Walker there.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if that was a quote-unquote defenseless receiver penalty. It looked like Woodland Hills did a good job of just batting the ball out of the air.
So it's a personal foul against Woodland Hills, and it'll be 15 yards from the previous spot, and it's a first down for the Big Macs, moving the ball up to the 45-yard line. Folks on the TV side, let's take a look at this replay. We see that Morris Walker had that ball in his hands, and Nazir Taylor just put a shoulder in there to knock the ball free. I don't agree with that call whatsoever. Trips right, one receiver left as Inez, he'll hand off to the tailback, and that tailback is off to the races, at least for the moment, inside of Big Mac's territory, down to the 42-yard line.
Stop made by 54, Wilford Clark.
Ellsworth Reese, the ball carrier, with that 13-yard gain.
I want to go back to that penalty by Woodland Hills. I mean, it wasn't even a target. I mean, it looked like on the replay there wasn't even a targeting. It was just a shoulder-to-shoulder contact as the ball was in the receiver's hand. So I'm not exactly sure why that flag was thrown.
Handoff. The ball carrier yet again is Ellsworth Reese. This time he'll get to the line of scrimmage and no further. Tackle play by Miguel Cobbs. Joel Shaw also in on the stop. And that brings up second down and 10 for the Big Macs as the clock continues to wind.
Yeah, I think right now Joel Shaw really has done a great job in pass pressure, and he really needs to continue that, especially on these next two downs. It looks like the right tackle for Canon-McMillan is trying to chop him, but to no avail.
Inez rolling right as he's pressured by Cobbs. Shaw stepping up there as well in the pressure. The pass to the near sideline is intercepted, but falling out of bounds before getting a foot in was Christopher Wilson. So the incomplete pass brings up third down and 10 for the Big Macs.
Great job of Wilson. I mean, if his right foot was just a little bit more inbounds, that would have been a tremendous interception. Good job of the defensive line of stringing out Inez and making sure he couldn't get his feet set to deliver a nice pass.
Folks on the TV side, you had an opportunity yet again to see that hit moments ago by Nazir Taylor, one that Fred and I both agree was not a penalty. Inez looking left, throwing left, the pass intercepted. It's Derrick Caraway with the pick. He's got a convoy in front of him, cutting left end back to the right-hand side, now sliding through a tackle, spinning his way to the 45-yard line. Here comes Derrick Caraway, cutting to the near boundary, a stiff arm inside of the 40, and finally brought down inside of the 35-yard line at the 33. What a great return by Derrick Caraway, and that's his second big play with the ball in his hands today.
Yeah, great job of Caraway of actually the last second before that ball came into his hands, just taking a quick look back and really made a nice interception. And then once he seems to get the ball in his hands, man, he can make things happen. Nice return, making some people miss, and using his speed as well to set up a good return.
Woodland Hills will take a timeout. We'll take the opportunity to step away momentarily. But we want to remind you to stay tuned to the Woodland Hills Football Network on the radio side for the State Senator Jay Costa postgame show as the Wolverines in all likelihood will win this one, and we will award our Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home Play of the Game and the State Senator Jay Costa Play of the Game. All of that much later here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs right here on MSA Sports and the aforementioned Woodland Hills Football Network. Fans, don't forget, check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WH Football Network. You can find coverage of this game and all Woodland Hills football games, including archives going back several seasons. Woodland Hills with the football, 1st and 10 at the Canon-Mac 33-yard line after the interception by Derrick Caraway back at the Canon-Mac 20-yard line. He returned it all the way to the Canon-Mac 33. Handoff, Payton Hicks. He'll go just about nowhere, actually brought down for a yard loss. Woodland Hills going back 1 yard, and Payton Hicks has himself 19 yards on 4 carries.
Yeah, Hicks has done a great job of filling in for Miles Sanders while he's been injured. Been able to really pick up necessary yardage as needed for Woodland Hills to keep drives going, and then also has 2 touchdowns to boot for the season.
Shotgun, sidecars to either side of reserve quarterback Tyrese Robinson. Handoff will go to the second man through Jaquan Smith. And Smith drives his way inside of the 30 to the 28-yard line. A pickup of about a half a dozen for Jaquan Smith, and Woodland Hills with a third manageable.
Yeah, Jaquan Smith, another one of the running backs that has filled in, primarily in mop-up duty, but the time and the carries that he does get, he makes the most of it on every time he touches the ball.
Shotgun sidecars to either side of Robinson, twins to the left, one receiver to the far boundary right. Hard count by Robinson. High snap, he'll grab hold. And it is Payton Hicks sliding through tacklers. He's got the first down before being driven back. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills with the football right around the 23-yard line.
You know, Adam, I mentioned a couple weeks ago how Payton Hicks, his running style is very vertical. Wow, looks like it's a 4th down. I thought he picked up the first down on that last play, but I guess the officials saw otherwise.
Yeah, from our vantage point, it looked like Payton Hicks carried the ball inside of the 23 before being driven back, but the officials say no, so it's a gain of about 4.5 for Payton Hicks and 4th and 1 now for Woodland Hills. Sidecars to either side of Robinson. Hard count. He'll hand off to Hicks. Hicks, he's got the first down and more to the 20-yard line.
Hand off to Payton Hicks.
And Michael McAllister, the reserve center, makes sure that everybody on the field knows that it's a Woody High first down.
Yeah, Payton Hicks did a great job. Actually, the offensive line did a great job of opening up the hole for Payton Hicks. Now, you have to understand that this is their second-team offensive line, so these are not a lot of players that, routinely see varsity action, but they're doing a great job and done a great job all season long of really getting these reserve running backs some nice holes to run through.
Yeah, Michael McAllister, the lone player out there that does see varsity time, but he sees that on the other side of the football as a defensive end, not at center where he's lined up right now. Handoff, end around, Amir Cobbs, the ball carrier, bouncing to the near side, inside of the 15, cutting his way back, inside of the 10, slides past the tackler, inside of the 5. He'll cross the goal line for a Woodland Hills touchdown, but there's a foul flag on the field.
And I know there's one individual across the sideline that's going to be disappointed that this run is coming back, and that would be Amir Cobbs' father, Melvin Cobbs, the Cannonball, as they used to call him back in the day. But great job of great play call, actually, by Coach Novak and Kevin Murray, but all for naught considering the flag.
That's disappointing. I know that we talked about this earlier with Kevin Murray being one of our teammates back in the day. Melvin was too. 3 seasons for you. I'm sure many more before that in your days playing youth football and then in the junior high ranks as well.
Yeah, I met Melvin when we were 9 years old playing termites for Swissville. Actually, we were the Packers back then, and grew up with Melvin every step of the way. So,
Payton Hicks, the ball carrier here, as they feign the end around to Amir Cobbs, and Hicks will drive his way down to about the 19-yard line, a gain of about 5, and it's 2nd down and 9.
And it doesn't seem – it seems to me that Payton Hicks, no matter what the score of the game is or what situation the game is in, he continues to run very hard every time he touches the ball. And that's something that you certainly need, you know, ongoing, because you never know what's going to happen with any of these running backs as much as they touch the ball.
Robinson in the shotgun, sidecars to either side. 2 receivers left. They'll feign the end around. Passing play, and the pass is complete. Nazir Taylor on the reception. He slammed around at the 5-yard line, but a flag flies at the line of scrimmage. And this is an illegal shift against Woodland Hills, and it's going to back Woodland Hills from the 19-yard line to the 24. So instead of 2nd down and 9, it'll be 2nd down and 14.
It really is a shame that Woodland Hills they're shooting themselves in the foot with you know, getting these penalties on some really nice plays. I mean, a couple of touchdowns have been negated because of penalties, which, you know, I mean, it's probably more mental errors than anything, but, you know, you really don't want to take points off the board in any situation.
This by far the most penalized game we've seen for the Woodland Hills Wolverines this season, and as Fred said, a couple of scores have been taken off the board due to the hankies on the field. But that remains irrelevant as Woodland Hills holds this 35-point advantage. Robinson straight drop back out of the shotgun. He'll dump it off to the right-hand side, and as the ball reaches the hands of the running back, Jaquan Smith, it's broken up by a defensive back for Canon-Mac. Josh Klopp comes in there to make that play for the defensive side of the Canon-Mac Big Macs.
And Klopp did a great job of just reading Jaquan Smith coming out of the backfield, and just as that ball got to Smith, Klopp made a nice play. Could have resulted in a pick 6 if he had intercepted the ball.
Clock winds down to 35 seconds to play here in quarter number 3. Woodland Hills holds a 42-7 advantage. The Wolverines threatening, though it is 3rd and 14 at the Canon-Mac 24-yard line. Robinson shotgun, sidecar to his right is Payton Hicks. Straight drop back for Robinson. He's got time. He's going to step up and run now. Inside of the 20, tucks the football away. Inside of the 10, inside of the 5, and he'll be brought down around the 2-yard line. And for the first time in a long time, a big play not negated by a flag.
Yeah, good job of Robinson of really not seeing anybody open downfield, and then once he saw that there was a little bit of a crease in the middle of the field, he took off, picked up the 1st down, and almost a touchdown.
2 quarterbacks have played today for Woodland Hills. They have accounted for 64 yards on the ground, so that's a pretty impressive running game for the black and turquoise QBs. That was the final play of the 3rd frame as well on that run by Tyrese Robinson. We'll head to the 4th quarter when we return. It's Woodland Hills 42, Canon-Mac 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Fans, follow us on Facebook, Woodland Hills Football Network. Facebook.com/Woodland Hills Football Network. Updates all week long, including other media coverage of the Woodland Hills Wolverines. And I want to thank E.J. Borghetti from the University of Pittsburgh. We certainly did so on social media, but he was a big help in getting us some footage for our pregame show this past weekend, or this past week.
On the all-new 20 to the point. Goal to go for Woodland Hills at the Big Macs 1-yard line.
It'll be 1st and 10 for, or 1st and goal rather, for Woodland Hills when we return to live action. Getting back to E.J. Borghetti and his help from the University of Pittsburgh. A couple of Woodland Hills alums had huge football games last week for the University of Pittsburgh. Mike Caprera and Juan Price notably, and E.J. Borghetti certainly helped us getting us some footage of those players. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about some of the Woodland Hills players that play just so well at the college level, especially for the University of Pittsburgh. Not just Caprera and Price, but K.K. Mosley Smith and Lafayette Pitts as well. Javante Pitts see so much action, special teams as well.
Yeah, I really haven't had a chance to see too many Pitt games due to other obligations, but what I have seen, I went to the Youngstown State game. They did a great job. Everybody did a great job. Price, Caprera, both Pitts did a great job, and hope they continue success during the season.
Handoff to Payton Hicks. It looks like he got to the goal line, but not quite crossing that goal line. A flag is down. It's a false start against Woodland Hills.
Against Woodland Hills, the 5-yard penalty will leave them first down.
So instead of first and goal for Woodland Hills with the football at the 1-yard line, it'll be first and goal at the 6. Robinson, shotgun, sidecars to either side. Motion man, Amir Cobbs from right to left. He'll take the handoff. Looks to turn the corner. Now cuts it back. He's hit hard around the 4-yard line. A gain of about 1 for the diminutive Amir Cobbs. Just 5'5", 143, and he took a licking there.
Yeah, he did a great. Offensive line really didn't help him out too much on that last play, but Amir Cobbs tried to cut it back. There was nothing open on the left-hand side. Once he made that cutback, man, the Canon-Mac defender made a nice hit. Good thing Amir kept his hands on the ball and didn't give it up.
Clock winds to 11 minutes and 2 seconds to play here in regulation. Woodland Hills holding this 35-point advantage, looking to build upon that with this second and goal at the 4. All reserves out there on the football field. And all kinds of movement. And it'll be false start against Woodland Hills. And the Wolverines are moving backwards here after first and goal at the 1. It is now second down and goal at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, these are just mental mistakes right now from guys that typically don't see a lot of varsity action. But, you know, I'm sure they'll right the ship. You know, the next couple of plays, still 4-down territory. If they can't punch it in, I'm sure they'll continue to go for it and hopefully get some points on the board.
Woodland Hills breaks the huddle. Shotgun formation, sidecars to either side of quarterback Robinson. 2 receivers to the right. Handoff. The ball carrier, Jaquan Smith, running left, driving his way inside of the 5. They'll say he's down at the 4-yard line, and it's third down and goal for the Wolverines at the Canon-Mac 4.
It really looked like Jaquan Smith had a full head of steam coming across the line of scrimmage, but, you know, hats off to the Canon-McMillan defense. They're still battling, trying to keep the Wolverines out of the end zone.
Third down goal from the 4-yard
2 carries, 11 yards right now for Jaquan Smith. Shotgun formation, sidecars to either side of QB Robinson. Hicks runs right, turns the corner, into the end zone. He will go, and Woodland Hills extends their lead to 48-7 on the 4-yard touchdown run for Payton Hicks.
Yeah, Payton Hicks just took the ball from the left side, went across the field. Good job of the offensive line of sealing the Canon-Mac defense, and Payton Hicks just essentially walked right into the end zone.
Second touchdown in consecutive weeks for Payton Hicks. He now has 36 yards unofficially. Sullivan Folia on to attempt the PAT out of the hold of Jermaine Wynn. Long snapper Stephen Rickert. Good snap, good hold, kick up. And that kick is good. And with 9 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, it is Woodland Hills 49, Canon-Mac 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills fans, follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/WHFootballNet. Social media coverage of the Woodland Hills Wolverines, including highlights of today's game, our State Senator Jay Costa player of the game, the Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game, and, of course, the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show, usually posted on our social media pages sometime on Thursdays. 9:36 to play here. Woodland Hills on top of Canon-Mac, 49-7 after the 4-yard touchdown run by Payton Hicks. Thomas Sullivan Folia will be kicking off for Woodland Hills. He's gotten his fair share of work today. as he has kicked 7 point-after touchdowns, 8 kickoffs, and that is his second touchback of the football game. And Fred, we talked about it already, but Sullivan Foley, 2 touchbacks. He's made all 7 PATs. He's having himself a whale of a football game.
He certainly is, and like I said, ever since the Bethel Park game, he's done a great job, and maybe he's probably missed 1 extra point attempt since then, but he's been really consistent, especially the last 2 weeks, as much as Woodland Hills has scored. Just done a great job of staying focused, and that has a lot to do with, a new holder. I believe Wynn has been the holder the last couple of weeks since Mikey Whitehurst was injured, and Stephen Richter has done a great job of, making snaps that Wynn can get down for Sullivan Foley at a kick.
Timeout on the field will step away as well, as Woodland Hills, I think, wants to talk some strategy here with their reserve defense. 9:22 to play. Woodland Hills 49, Canon-Mac 7. It's the Wolverines of the Big Macs on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Visit our website at woodlandhillsfootballnetwork.com. Down there along the sidelines, Woodland Hills alumnus John Phillips, sideline reporter for tonight's broadcast on a different channel, but good to get him some publicity here on the Woodland Hills Football Network as well. 9:22 to play here in the fourth quarter. Woodland Hills on top of Canon-Mac 49-7. New quarterback in there for the Big Macs is Jordan Castelli, and Castelli's pass is complete to the far sideline. It's Jamie Bisbee on the reception for Canon-Mac, and Castelli's pass covers 11 yards, and it's a first down for Canon-Mac.
Yeah, a good job of Canon-Mac of calling a play that was suited towards the strength of the quarterback. Just a little waggle play. Good job of number 5, Castelli, setting his feet, making a nice pass, and Canon-McMillan picking up good yardage on first down.
And a flag comes down. I think Canon-Mac is going to be guilty of some sort of procedural penalty here. And I mean, in all honesty, Fred, at this point, a minor procedural penalty for a receiver not lining up properly is just, delaying the inevitable at this point. The football game is over. There's 8:38 to play. Woodland Hills is on top by 42 points. Let the clock continue to run.
Yeah, but conversely, the officials have to stay sharp, and because their season's not over as well, so they need to make sure that they're staying on top of all the penalties by both teams.
Castelli's pass this time complete to Douglas Coder, and Coder is brought down shy of the first down marker at the 29-yard line.
The completion good for 5 yards.
Or rather for 5 yards. So it's 3rd down and 2 here. Handoff. The tailback, Ellsworth Reese, is met near the line of scrimmage and brought down, and by a massive humanity, Tyrell Barlow on the tackle. Yes. In answer to your question, he is related to Kevin Barlow, former Pitt Panther and San Francisco 49er. Tyrell Barlow, his father Lionel, and Kevin, first cousins. So if you do the math, first cousins once removed for Tyrell Barlow and Kevin Barlow. On to punt it away, Jordan Smith. Snap high, but Smith will gather it in, and the ball is booted away where it'll be returned by the Wolverines. On the return is Jawan Hill, and Jawan Hill is brought down at the 33-yard line where it'll be first down and 10 for Woodland Hills.
Got to give a lot of credit to the young Wolverines on that last drive. Canon-Mac first down yardage was 2nd and 2, I believe, for 2nd down, and then really held them on third down, actually 2nd and 3rd down. Stood tall. Canon-Mac was unable to pick up the 1st down and forced Canon-Mac to punt.
So Woodland Hills takes over, 1st down and 10 at their own 33-yard line with 6.5 minutes to go in regulation. Shotgun for Tyrese Robinson. Sign cars to either side. Receiver split to either side. Snap sails through the hands of Robinson. He'll retreat. Looked like he was going to scoop it up, but couldn't do so cleanly, so he falls on it. And the errant snap by McAllister forces Robinson into a loss of 14 yards back to the 19.
And what McAllister really needs to do on this next snap is actually, have a little bit of amnesia. Forget that last snap. Don't worry about it. Make sure you get the next one so your offense can run efficiently like they have been so far in the second half.
I mean, the ball was on the left shoulder of Robinson, not completely uncatchable, but not on the spot either for McAllister. That one much cleaner. And the handoff will go to the tailback on the left side of the formation. It's Jawan Hill, the ball carrier, pickup of 3 for Jawan Hill. Woodland Hills looking deep into their roster at this point, as are the Canon-Mac Big Macs.
Yeah, good job of Hill just taking the ball from the left tailback position, sidecar position, coming across the face of the quarterback, and nice pickup on 2nd down considering the previous play.
Shotgun handoff. It's Jaquan Smith running left, cutting his way back. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of a yard up to the 23. And Smith now with 12 yards. And it's 4th down now as the clock winds to 4.5 minutes to play. The offense will stay out there, Freddie. So an interesting call here. Woodland Hills is going to go for it on 4th down and 19, or will it be a pooch punt by Tyrese Robinson? He's set way back there. The snap high, Robinson catches it and boots it. It's a high punt by Robinson. It takes a Woodland Hills bounce inside of Canon-Mac territory to the 46-yard line where it's downed by McAllister. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Big Macs after a reasonable punt there by Robinson. That one covering 33 yards.
Yeah, that's an impressive pooch punt for Woodland Hills. I wasn't sure what they were going to try to do, but definitely got the Wolverines out of the hole, so to speak. So good job by Robinson with the pooch punt.
1st down and 10 for Canon-Mac. The football at their own 46-yard line. The clock winds as the Wolverines hold this 42-point advantage over the Canon-Mac Big Macs. Next week, Woodland Hills takes on West Allegheny. We'll talk about that a bit more once this football game ends. 2 receivers left, 1 to the far boundary right. Castelli, the quarterback, will hand off to Ellsworth Reese, who dances his way to the 50-yard line. He's caught in midair by Jawan Hill and dumped down at the 49-yard line.
It looks like Hill is doing everything on both sides of the ball for Woodland Hills. He's running the football on the offense and making spectacular tackles on defense, as well as the special teams with the punt returns.
Second down and 5. The ball at the 49-yard line as Castelli looks for the play from the near boundary. Reese stands to the left of Castelli with 2 receivers left, 1 to the far side right along the hash. Castelli looking right the whole way. He'll dump it off to the tight end who was dragging across the formation out front. Bisbee, the intended receiver, and the incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 5.
It looks like Canon-Mac is going to go to a no-huddle offense considering the clock is winding under 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Costelli looks to the near sideline for the play with 2 receivers to the right of the formation and 1 to the near side left. He has a side card to his right-hand side in Ellsworth Reese. Costelli out of the hard count, hands off. Reese has a hole over the left side. He's inside of the 40, and he'll be brought down. The ball comes loose, and the Wolverines recover the football as Ellsworth Reese fumbled it away at the 36-yard line. The Wolverines covered it up at the 34. A Big Mac tried to squeeze his way in there and rip it away, but to no avail. The fumble recovery by Daron Best.
Yeah, I thought that Ellsworth coming across the line was holding the ball a little bit away from his body, trying to get some extra speed by pumping those arms, but good job of, actually, I think it was number 20, Najee King, who jarred that ball away from Ellsworth.
So the fumble by Reese, the recovery by Daron Best. With the fumble forced, as Freddie said, by Najee King. And 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills at the 35. And a flag flies. I think Woodland Hills guilty of a delay of game here with 93 seconds to go.
Penalty flags on the field for a delay of game. The 5-yard penalty.
And looking back at the fumble by Ellsworth Reese, slowing the shoulder there, and a textbook tackle forcing that fumble. As Fred said, by Najee King. After the penalty, it's 1st and 15 for Woodland Hills at the 30-yard line, and the ball carrier is Jaquan Smith, who runs his way out to the 41-yard line. Pick up on that play of 10 yards, and it's 2nd down and 5.
10 yards, 2nd down 5.
Clock winds under a minute to go here, and this, in all likelihood, will be the last play of the football game.
Yeah, and you really have to give your hats off to the Wolverine offense today. Did a great job, especially in the passing game. 3 touchdowns, and it looks like they might be trying to put some more points on the board.
Jaquan Smith took the handoff, and he was headed off to the races to the 50-yard line, a pickup of 10 yards. And Jaquan Smith quietly has put together 5 carries for 32 yards, a pretty decent performance, especially average rush per carry, and Coach Novak will not send a play in here as there are 3 more seconds on the play clock than there are on the game clock, and that will be the end of this football game. Woodland Hills defeating the Canon-Mac Big Macs 49-7. The Wolverines are now 6-0 on the year, more importantly 5-0 in the Southeastern Conference, while the Canon-Mac Big Macs, they fall to 1-5 on the year, and they have yet to win a game in SEC play.
Yeah, again, by all calculations, I do believe Woodland Hills has clinched a playoff berth. I know that doesn't really satisfy your appetite, Adam, considering you want that state title. But I'm sure the Wolverines, the 27th out of 29 years they've made the playoffs, so something to look forward to. But certainly they're going to look forward to that game against West Allegheny next week.
And a little bit of foreshadowing there, Fred, because let's talk about that game against the West Allegheny Indians. We've talked about it before. Let's talk about it again. Woodland Hills hosting West Allegheny, the top team in Quad A against the top team in AAA. Kickoff at 7:30 p.m. Our coverage starting at 7:10 p.m. all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. The winner of that football game will either avenge a loss from a season ago. Woodland Hills lost in overtime by 1 point after a missed PAT by the Woodland Hills kicker. The West Allegheny Indians scored, and their kicker made the PAT to win the football game. Also, that football game goes a long way for playoff seeding for both of those football teams. Woodland Hills wins, and they win out the regular season. They defeat Mount Lebanon in Week 8 and defeat Penn Hills in Week 9. They not only win the Southeastern Conference, but in all likelihood will be the #1 team headed into the Quad A playoffs some 4 weeks hence.
Yeah, and you have to take into consideration, too, that Woodland Hills hasn't had a cake schedule throughout the course of this season. I mean, Bethel Park's a really good team. Upper St. Clair's a playoff caliber team. And if you put together wins against West A, Mount Lebanon, and Penn Hills, that's one of the tougher schedules in Quad A.
Well, we'll wrap this one up here on the TV side. Woodland Hills defeating the Canon-Mac Big Macs 49-7. Woodland Hills will take on the aforementioned West Allegheny Indians next Friday night, and our coverage will start at 7:10 p.m. For our entire television crew and my broadcast partner, Fred Guy, I'm Adam Gusky. We thank you for watching the Woodland Hills Wolverines and the Canon-Mac Big Macs on MSA Sports and right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Coop is the player, player 79, 3 touchdowns, 100 yards. He rushed for